Welcome, everyone, to the league. It's week 12. Uh, this past week was fucking crazy. We have the first ever tie um, in the league, and it came way late. What was it? Maybe a day, 2 days after a recalculation, and I think Graydon said it was an extra assisted tackle for a defensive player for the was it the Gorillas that lost points or was it the Dumpster Fire that gained? I'm pretty sure the Dumpster Fire gained a half point from one of their defensive players, I guess, or maybe that's what it was, or maybe it was a recalculation of um, 5 yards ain't gonna be it. I don't really know. It must be a half tackle. That's the only thing that I could think would be a half point gain that would be missed this far, that late. So it had to be a defensive player. And it wasn't Fowler because he got nothing. So it was either Xavier McKinney or Zaire Franklin. Now it says they both got 5 tackles, or you know, they didn't get any half tackles. So I wonder what the real stats are on that. But whatever, that's what the shit says. So we got a fucking tie. And not only is it the first tie, the worst thing about it is that this is just a pain in the ass for me because now I have to fucking delete and add more text whenever I change these teams on all this shit and formatting. But whatever. In other news, the standings. The Cameron Cavaliers have clinched the playoffs. They have not clinched the division yet. Of course, they're only one game up on the finesse, but they are 8-3, and with that, they have clinched. I've ran the numbers a million times. The Cavaliers have clinched. They pretty much they don't even have a. They're gonna get at least fifth seed, so at least first wild card or whatever, or sorry, second wild card. But yeah, and so the dumpster fire here, um, technically have not clinched because, but the only way that the dumpster fire haven't clinched is because they would have to win out, or I'm sorry, they would have to lose out, and then another team, not the dumpster fire, like the Gorillas and the Quailmen or some shit, or the Trolls and the Quailmen or whatever down the road would have to tie, and they would have to end up with the same record as the dumpster fire, and one of those teams, whichever the team would have the better record or the tying team, would also have to outscore the dumpster fire in points for. And that's like 200 points right now at the very least. So the dumpster fire haven't technically scored, but or mathematically scored, but let's just go ahead. I'm sorry, not scored, but clinched. But they've pretty much clinched. So that's 3 teams now in the playoffs. And next up is the Finesse at 89%, Gorillas at 80%. Trolls at 54%, but again, that's going to keep going down because their team's injured. Quailmen 40%, Voyagers 28%, and then a big drop off after that to 6.5% for the Tiger Sharks. Like I said last week, that game with the Voyagers and Tiger Sharks, it's pretty much like if you lose, you aren't out, but I mean it's going to be a big blow. I didn't think it was going to be that much because I remember it being close. That was like a loss of 15% right there, and only like a gain of 6%. So war of attrition here this year. And the Mothmen are still in it. They have less than 1% along with the Titans Elite to make the playoffs, but they're going to need lots of help. Let's get into the power rankings. Um, yeah, you already know what it is. Coming in at number 12, you got the Cartel. This team, this team is just trash. But good God, the Gorillas are just going crazy on the waiver wire right now. They're adding and dropping everybody. They must be taking a big old poopy poop and tinker stinkering. I'm assuming that's what they're doing. But yeah, you got the cartel here at 12 because they are trash. Dropping down a spot or two is the Titans Elite. Not not looking too hot. I mean, yeah, they did play the Rune Dogs, and the Rune Dogs put up almost 200 on them. But I mean, hey man, the people behind you won. It's kind of how it goes. Coming in at number 10, you got the Mothman with a rare win on the season, taking down the just destroyed Trolls. But yeah, we'll see if the Mothman can win against a non-dead team. Coming in at number 9, you got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. Um, put up a good fight, but lost to the Voyagers. Voyagers, a rare super high point occurrence for them. The Tiger Sharks looked pretty good, but they did take the loss, and now they're going to need a lot of help. Pretty much need to win out to make the playoffs for them, but they can still, well, again, they can win two or some shit and then get a tie and somehow make the playoffs. It's bananas. But yeah, we'll see what happens to them. Coming in at number 8, dropping down, you got the Charleston Trolls. I mean, they're just hurt. They're just fucking hurt, and they've lost I don't know how many in a row now, but it's just not looking pretty over there in Charleston. Coming in at number 7, coming up, I don't know, one spot, is the Vietnam Voyagers, again taking down the Tiger Sharks. This is what this team can do, um, and they didn't even have Bucky Irving in, and they didn't have Kittle, and they still put up 160 points. So this is what this team can do, but it's just got to be fucking consistent. But until now, they're sitting here as the first ones out of the playoffs, in my opinion. Um, yeah, but in a great spot to get a high pick. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Just trying to get into the playoffs. Coming in at number 6, the surging Quailmen. Um, a little bit of a surprise. They they took down the Finesse last week in a very, very low scoring affair, and Joe Burrow has looked lights out since he has gone to the Quailmen. And I can't remember, have the Quailmen, how many wins have they? How many? Okay, they've only got 2 wins in a row, but their last loss was to the Cavaliers in just by a couple of touchdowns. And then they lost to the Titans Elite in a close one. So this team, after a couple of rough losses, have pulled off some big wins, and who knows what they can do? They gotta, they still gotta change their lineup, so their coach has gotta figure it out because Burrow's not playing this week, but we'll see. He's got to put in probably Herbert. Um, but he doesn't play until Tuesday, so you know he could wait a long time on that one. He's also got Bijan Robinson in, who is on bye as well. So he's gonna have to play. I don't fucking know, Samaje Perine, or was that Deuce Vaughn? So one of those guys. How's Perine doing? Ugh. Okay, so pretty much no points from his running back position, regardless of who he plays. So yeah, it's looking like Tiger Shark's probably going to pull that one out, but we'll see. Coming in at number 5, you got the Finesse. Ooh, ooh, ooh boy. Uh, yeah, lost to the Quailmen. I mean, you're going to drop down. That's how it works. Coming in at number 4, and at number 3, we might as well pair them the fuck together. The Dumpster Fire and the Gorillas. They managed to fucking tie last week. Again, bananas. Never happened. Never thought I would honestly see it. And if I did, it'd probably be maybe like 30 years or some shit from now, when we're all in walkers and still playing fantasy or something. But no, it happened in year 9. a tie when we have these very tiny increments of decimal places, but we have a tie, two decimal spot tie. That's fucking crazy. Um, and to have it be 2 days late is even fucking crazier. But all right, that's how she goes. But yeah, Gorillas and Dumpster Fire. Gorillas really up and down year. They started off pretty, I think, pretty hot, and then got cold, or was it the opposite? I can't remember. But have looked pretty damn good the last few games. They feel like they just got robbed of a win, and the Dumpster Fire saying, "Hey man, just do a recount," and they got it. So, and the Dumpster Fire have looked good all fucking year, reigning champs, blah blah yada yada. So both of these teams, pretty much this is a tie for third. Let's be honest. But I think I've got all the numbers grouped together, so I'm not going to delete it. So fuck that. Coming in at number 2, you got the Cameron Cavaliers. And I mean, this team, man, is just a big surprise to everybody. But and they did play the cartel, yeah, and they beat the shit out of them by 40, 42. So I mean, it's not like but I think they deserve the spot over the Dumpster Fire because they got that win. Dumpster Fire didn't. Um, but yeah, Cavaliers looking fucking fantastic, and obviously number one is the fucking Rune Dogs. They're the best. They're amazing. Everyone bow down to your new queen. Yada yada. Um, but yeah, Cavaliers, Rune Dogs. It's getting up there, and I don't know. Might see these two teams in the playoffs in the future. But for now, we got some matchups. Matchup number 1, you got the 6-4-1 Gorillas at the 5-6 Charleston Trolls. It's 13 to nothing. I think at the end of the first quarter in this one, Gorillas a little bit pissed off. Feel like they got cheated out of the last game, and Trolls are just looking hurt. So the Gorillas are just thinking, hey, here's a hurt team. We just got robbed of a win, so we lost half a game. Let's beat the shit out of this injured ass team. And that's might not happen. Right now, the bookies have got it as the Trolls as a less than a 1 point um, underdog right now. So the Trolls might have some fight in them, and it's going to be tough because the Gorillas don't have Purdy, so they're going to have to trust Caleb Williams in this one, and the Trolls have Kyler Murray. So this is a revenge game for Kyler Murray to get back at the Gorillas who let him go, thinking, hey, Purdy's going to be that guy, and they let Murray go, and Purdy is now injured and out, and I don't know how long he's out for, but it says could return. It says could return week 13. That doesn't mean will return. So Purdy could be out an extended amount of time, and with injuries nowadays, people's like, yeah, he could come back, and then he's got season-end surgery or something. So the big gamble, and I think I said that shit last week about that trade. Big gamble by the Gorillas, and now they got to have Caleb Williams save him. And it, he had a good start to the year, but he's looked pretty trash. I mean, the Bears, it's the Bears. So I don't know. This could be a mini. I was gonna say, I don't know, a tiny or miniature, a tiny little upset alert here down in Charleston. Matchup number 2, you got the 5-6 Quailmen at the 4-7 Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. And right now, again, as we said, the Quailmen, they've got Burrow in, but their replacement is just chilling. Doesn't have to play until fucking Monday Night Football. It's Tuesday for me, guys. Sorry that I said Tuesday earlier. And the running back is going to be, and again, that's going to be Justin Herbert against Baltimore. So That's going to be a tough one um, for him. I don't think he's going to have that good of a game, although he's looked really well recently. But the backup quarterback or backup running back is P. Ryan, and he doesn't do shit. Or we could do Deuce Vaughn, who also equally does not do shit. So we could maybe pick up somebody, but he's not paying attention because he would have switched these guys out by now regardless. So he's going to just roll with a shit guy, and the Tiger Sharks are probably going to win this, I would say, by 10 or 15 points here. But who knows? Who knows? Matchup number 3. And again, ooh, man, hold on. If the Quailmen lose and the Tiger Sharks win, it's going to clear a big, big hole for whoever wins that Trolls Gorillas game. So both of these games in the South are super fucking important, but it always is, that fucking division. Matchup number 3, you got the 4-7 Titans Elite at the 8-3 Cameron Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are up 2-0. It's early in the first quarter, but they already managed they already managed to get a safety. It looks like Cedric Tillman. I don't know. He must have. I think he downed a punt or something in the end zone with his feet in. I don't know, but Cavaliers got a free safety out of it. So a little mess up by the Titans Elite. And it's crazy that the bookies still got the Titans Elite winning by just under a touchdown here away at what you would think would be a favored squad. But again, just like our predictions, analysts predicted this week, is that players like Tyreek Hill and others are projected so, all of these points, and they don't actually ever achieve those amount of points. But anything can happen in this one. But the Cavaliers always seem to find a way to win. So we'll see. Matchup number 4. You got the 1-10 Miami Cartel at the 10-1 Long Island Rune Dogs. It's actually 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. Cartel in this matchup. A little bit of a surprise early from the Cartel, but the experts are saying Rune Dogs by about 24 or 26 points. So 4 touchdowns for them, and yeah, I mean, both of these teams are exactly what their record says it is. So this would be the biggest upset in league history if the Cartel would have come out here into into Long Island. I'm still correct. Into Long Island and take out the Rune Dogs. Could happen, but probably not. Let's get on to the rivalry game of the week. I don't really know why this is rivalry game of the week, but sure. We got the 3-8 Midlands Mothmen at the 7-3-1 Columbia Dumpster Fire. The Dumpster Fire are up 23-0 at the end of the first quarter, and it does say it's still giving the Dumpster Fire a touchdown advantage to go. Could happen, but you never know this Mothman team, if they can explode at any moment. So we'll see. And the Dumpster Fire have already used up 2 of their players, Jameis Winston and Chris Boswell, both okay days by both players. So the Mothmen want to take down the Dumpster Fire because they could still possibly miss the playoffs. They would have to lose. Obviously, it could happen, but who knows? Go crazy with your money. I don't care. Game of the week. Again, for some reason, this is game of the week. You got the 7-4 LA Finesse at the 5-6 excuse me, Vietnam Voyagers, and it's actually 3-0 Voyagers early in that game. It was actually T.J. Watt was out there to kick the field goal for them early in the game. They're trying out some new stuff. They like Fairbairn, but they thought TJ Watt, yeah, hey, he already does that. Why not go out there and kick a goddamn field goal? This game, it's got the finesse by 10, which I think is pretty accurate. um, but again, both of these teams have shown that they can put up gigantic numbers, but both have shown that they could put up absolute poopy poo. It's going to be a tough one. It really all depends on how well these quarterbacks play. Mahomes against Carolina. I mean, you're playing Carolina. If you can't put up 20 or more points against Carolina, and you're Patrick, and your name is Patrick Mahomes, there's something wrong. He's only had one game over 20 points this season, and that was against Tampa Bay. And we've seen how shit Tampa Bay's secondary is. And it's not really that they're shit, it's just that people have to pass because they're scoring a lot, but still it's pretty shit. And I mean, only 15 against Buffalo, 18 against Vegas, 12 against San Francisco. I mean, it's just not, it's just screams meh. But they're playing Carolina. And on the other hand, though, on the other side, you got Goff, who's looked amazing. Just put up 35 points last week. But they got to go against Indy, who's a tough defense. So it's really kind of who can overcome, the bigger hurdle there. And do I really have Nuke starting? Hold on. Oh, yeah, it's against Carolina. So, all right. Well, I hope Mahomes, if he tosses any touchdowns, it's going to be to Nuke, because unless I start this Vele kid for Denver against the Chargers, that might be a spicy one. Might do it. Nah, it's Nuke. I'm keeping him in. Fuck it. This just in. Yeah, anyways. On to the predictions. Thank you, Mandy, for doing the picks this week. Sam had picks last week, and surprisingly, went 4-2. He was high as balls, and he went 4-2. He correctly picked the Cavaliers over the Cartel, the Voyagers over the Tiger Sharks, the Mothmen over the Trolls, and the Rune Dogs over the Titans Elite. And actually, wait. I mean, what does a tie mean? Does that mean he loses? Is he supposed to call a fucking tie? But he said dumpster fire over the Gorillas, and the dumpster fire needed a recount, so whatever. Fucking loss. And he didn't get the finesse over the Quailmen, so that sucks. But yeah. So now we are 42 and 20. Lots of 4s and 2s on here. We're 4-2. We went 4-2. Now we're 42 and 24, and we're 64% on the year. Yeah. Again, Hunter and Graydon both have gone 6-0 on the year. Hunter got a redo and did garbage the next week. Chunks has next week, and then Dan for the final week of the regular season. But Mandy had the picks this week. And she had Gorillas over the Trolls, Tiger Sharks over the Quailmen, Cavaliers over the Titans Elite, her own Rune Dogs taking over the Cartel. Upset, no. And she's got the Mothmen over the Dumpster Fire, which I think is it's a pretty big upset. And she's got her Finesse over the Vietnam Voyagers. Let's see how those picks work out. Let's get on to golf. Turn of events. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. So, P-Man shot a triple birdie. Chunks only had one, so now they're tied at 13 under apiece. First tie that we've had in a long time. And then Dan got 2 bogeys while Mandy shot 4 birdies, so they have pretty much swapped to where now Mandy sits at 9 under, only 4 strokes back on the leaders. But now Dan is 4 strokes down on Mandy, so 8 strokes back for him. E-Man had a pretty damn good day. Oh, I'm sorry, no, he did not. He had a shitty day. He had a bogey. Never mind. E-Man drops down. Wait. Yeah, that's correct. The 3. Yeah. Braden got a bogey. I didn't play, apparently. Hunter got 1 birdie, Rico 2 bogeys, Joe 1 bogey, Matt Volatile 3 birdies, 1 bogey, Sam 3 bogeys. So yeah, the board is as it lies. Again, it's still anyone's game. Still have the final 3 holes. Again, this is a regular season event. So weeks 12, 13, and 14, that's the last ones. So yeah, Chunks, P-Man, Mandy, hell, all the way down to Hunter have a really good chance of taking it. Well, not a good chance, but you know what I mean. They have a chance to make it. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Good luck, everybody. Sorry that this one's getting a little bit late. I was waiting on Mandy's thing, and then she sent it, and then I was gonna do it, and then I forgot. So yeah, but good luck, everybody. Okay, now Sam's just adding motherfuckers. All right, this is crazy. All right, good luck.